And today we are looking at this dude's dreads. What? Oh, where'd it go? This guy says his hair is like this. It actually reminds me of Playboy Cardi in the beginning days a little bit. Playboy Cardi being, you know, definitely very inspirational in the dreadlock game. And I like these locks that this guy's got going on here because he's got like two little pigtails happening with the bangs at the front. You know, pretty creative for the baby dread stage. And he's actually saying here, free forming for about a year. Recently started getting them retwisted. Always wanted my hair in the front of my face like Chief Keef. So that was free forms turned into twists. Personally, I would have kept the free forms going, but I mean, whatever this dude wants, it's his choice ultimately. The baby dread stage right now looking fire, to be honest. Really Bob Marley like. I actually think that it looks pretty cool. And this is his shit's now twisted into an actual fishbone braid. Oh, that's another guy. Oh no, it's not. Yeah. So next dude here, pre-sauce. He's got the front taper. He's got the twists right down to the scalp. I see the scalp there. Those parts. And very cylindrical and very thin as well. Very numerous. He's probably got like over 50, 60 dreads with them being that thin. And he's actually got them like kind of braided into a pigtail or push back or something. Oh, it's a ponytail. So he's got the ponytail half updo, which I love. The half updo is like a great look. I used to always rock the half updo over the full ponytail. And you know, honestly, it's looking pretty crisp, having that fresh retwist. You know, I get it. I like why people, I see why people like to have the scalp showing. Like, it looks very uniform. You know, it satisfies people with OCD to see that. It's always hard filming yourself in the mirror. On top of that, very hard to film yourself in the mirror. But that's what the dreadlock game is about. Those bathroom vlogs are in the mirror. He's got the braid out here. The braid's going back with the ponytail. Still a lot of side tapering happening. It looks fresh. It looks pretty clean, yo. And it looks like he's even got some moisture happening on there with some oils. His scalp is shining a bit, so he's keeping that moisture locked in. This is the sauce look here now. Dreads hanging down in front of his face. About down to his lip in length. And they look pretty cool. So these would be twists, all in all. Dude's locks, yo. Wagwan. I remember this. These guys' locks, I love how he has the bleach going on in there. The headband as well is always a great look to have with dreads. The headband look is like, I don't know, it's very trendy. And it makes sense functionally because it keeps the sweat out of your face, keeps the dreads out of your face, you can push it back. Yeah, it looks cool. Blunted tips, a little bit of frizziness on the top. It's alright. It's alright. Yeah, hanging down in front of his eyes here as well. Getting some length. They're actually pretty thin. And his hair type, probably like a type 2 of some sort. I'm excited to see the length that he could get with these dreads. And you can see here on the scalp that there's no parting or anything happening, so we know he's not like retwisting or interlocking his locks. Most likely the method here is crochet. Might have done a little bit of back combing at the start, maybe just free forming now as well. But yeah, you can definitely notice a difference between a maintained style versus the unmaintained because of the scalp. And like dude in the last dreads had a lot of parts and this guy has no parts, so you see the difference there. And yeah, I just think I like the blonde that you got going on in there. It's a cool look. Now I don't know if you're gonna continue dyeing it blonde or you're just gonna let it grow out into your natural color now and have the blonde tips on there. Let us know. 2 months. This guy looks like he's been free-forming for 2 months. High top. Could have even started with the dread sponge for a week or two. His hair on the dread sponge would actually work remarkably well. The dread sponge, for some reason on type 4 hair, is just like, it just makes dreads form up right away. Now this is him at 3 months, getting that lengthen. No parting on the scalp, a lot of new growth coming in. Very healthy, thick locks that could be growing in from these dreads. And it's always a good thing to have thick dreadlocks because it just means more strength. Means fewer dreads. So for some people, they like to have less to take care of. I don't know. Because when I say that because when you have a lot of dreads, like 100 or more on your head that are really thin, it's a lot more looping and twisting that you got to do, like this, right? Like you're sitting there getting all this shit done for hours. So yeah. And then it's the top view of his locks here. Looking pretty dope. Thanks for sending in those pictures, dude. I appreciate that. This guy is 7 months on these locks. Pretty short still. He might have started them from very short hair. I like how this one kind of has like a dragon split on the end, like a fishtail, sorry. These two have fishtails. These ones are kind of thin and kind of just short, blunted tips. I mean, I'm just appreciative that he's on the journey. I mean, it takes a lot to really stay on journey, especially when you have hair texture that is not as cooperative in making dreads. Now, don't get me wrong. All hairstyles, all hair types can get into a locked form. It just takes time. A guy or girl with type 4 hair will lock quicker than somebody with type 1. That just means that you have to have more patience with the lower number that you have of your hair type. So this dude's locks, high top once again, looking freeform. Congo's coming in real nice. Yeah, these are gonna be sick. High top freeform dreads, very popular. Probably the easiest way to freeform your hair that is like acceptable amongst society or your parents. Just because the taper, for some reason when people taper the front and the sides and the back, it gives the appearance of a neat look. It's like an illusion twist. You know the illusion retwist where you just retwist the front and the sides? It kind of looks like your whole head's been retwisted. It's an illusion, and it's fine. It's that dreadlock illusion that is very needed. Yo, this dude's dreads purple. That is interesting. How do you get that color? Now his hair looks kind of twisted, like he got some 2-strand twists put in and he's left them. This will work. It's not the most progressive style of doing dreads, especially with like a type 3 hair. Like 2-strand twist works best on type 4 hair. Myself, 2-strand twist on 3A didn't really work that well. So this guy actually looks like it is working. It just takes a little bit longer on his hair texture, but he's got some length. His dreads are like down to past his nose already. I think the color is fire. That purple fade out there is pretty dope. Respects to you, bro. This guy's hair looking dope too. I like that he's got lots of jewelry in there, and he's rocking the hoodie as best as he can. Hoods don't fit over dreads, people. They don't, unless you get like specific hoods with different V cuts. But I give up on hoodies and dreads, especially when your dreads get longer. When you're in the baby dread stage, hoodies are fine with locks. Like this guy's probably at the stage right where the dreads are getting too big for the hood. But when you find a hoodie with a big hood and you have long dreads, snatch it up, because those things are rare. They're rare commodities out there. This guy's rocking the hoodie same way every time. Lots of jewelry, lots of dreads, lots of freeform happening here. Look at all the new growth happening right on the top of his head. And he's even got some dye in there. Some of his dreads are like bleach blonde, and some of his dreads no, it looks fire. I think you're doing great. Keep it up. He's got a little bit of high top here. And a little bit of a front and side taper happening too, it looks like. Sweet, yo. Great locks. Good shit. Whoa, what's going on here? This is some like type 2C hair going into a freeform stage. Lots of kinks and curls happening. And it seems like his hair's been growing for a few years already to get dreads like this. Now, this is just his hair there. I can't even tell if it's a guy or a girl, to be honest, but this is just their hair going down in front of their face. And I think that these locks are going to turn out remarkably remarkable. They're going to turn out remarkable because they're letting the freeform process take its natural course. And especially with like kinky wavy hair like this, they're going to be very unique dreads, unlike anybody else. And that's the cool thing about freeforming, is that they kind of make their own personality and character on their own. They don't need any inspiration. They're not trying to look like anybody else's dreads. They're just themselves. Okay, so we got some dreads here. Looks like he's got the back tapered, shaved down a little bit. New growth, looking good. No retwist, no interlocks happening down there. You know, I think that these are definitely some free forms. Might have started with a little bit of a twist. I hope that they go into some congos and some thicker locks over time. It's definitely a great look to have. The baby dread stage, this guy's in the baby dread stage, and it's always fun having short little dreads because you're at the beginning of the journey, and when you have little dreads and you can see them grow and grow and grow into something like this, it's fun. Like, you get to see the actual progress of your hair, instead of just like having a maid and then all of a sudden you have a dread. You know, it's kind of like a cheating. You're like cheating the process when you're doing that. So I always appreciate it when people grow it from the start, let it lock up on its own, and then you really and can truly embrace the journey and the culture of it. Looking at this guy, oh, he's got some locks, a lot of frizzy hair, and a nice big bud. That bud honestly looks like it's like a 2 gram, 3 gram bud right there. Indica hybrid. I'm gonna go with Granddaddy Perp. Let me know what strain that actually is in the comments below if you're watching this, dude. But it does look fire. I would love to blaze that nug there with you. Bumba. Yo, this dude's locks looking good, actually. How my locks looking? They're looking good. He's got like some frizzy hairs coming down on one of his tips there. That could easily be fixed with a crochet hook. It doesn't need to be blunted. It doesn't need to be crocheted. It will take its form over time. But it looks like he has kind of been blunting some of these. His dreads are thick. I like how thick his dreads are. And even this one at the front is actually congoed up from 2. So he's got a fishtail happening on the front. And yo, big ups to letting that Congo, bro. And honestly, you should let more Congo up as much as you can. The good thing about Congos, especially one like that at the front, if it turns out you don't actually like the Congo right there, you can always split it and then have that dread back into 2 later. Like, so that's why it's always worth letting your Congos form together a bit, just to see where it goes, because you can always split them after. And personally, at the front here, I would rather more dreads than fewer dreads at the front, because when you have big thick dreads at the front, it splits and you kind of get this part here. So I'd rather have like more dreads at the front so it doesn't give you that splitting effect. But that's just me. Everyone's different, right? Everyone's different. Moving on here. We got some dreads in the basketball court. These are short, high top once again. Yo, everybody high tops. Everybody is on that high top tip. And we got a lot of dreads in this review. Oh, Bumbleclaw. Oh, Bumbleclaw. We got a lot of dreads in this review. So, this guy's gonna be the last one on this episode. I'm gonna move to another episode. But this guy here, high top, He's got a little bit of a taper as well. Looks like he might have had his shit crocheted together. That's why there's so much like frizzy hair kind of going everywhere. I've had this look done on myself before. This guy's saying took my braids out. I don't know if he was talking about dreads or braids. But type 1 hair like this, you can still make the dreads. You can still get the dreads on the free form, on the crochet method. The back comb method works really well. I've even seen people interlock their hair. This kind of looks like interlocking on his hair in this photo here. But that's kind of where this dude is at. I think that these dreads personally could grow into something great. Let's say he did crochet and interlock these into place right here. He could just freeform them after that. You don't need to keep on upkeeping with the same method, because once they're locked and these look like they're locked, they're not going to come undone. So you can keep on growing that new growth in whatever manner that you want. Just putting that out there, you know, just putting that out there. But yeah, I'm gonna end this dread review here. Thanks for watching this video, and I do appreciate you guys once again being a part of this community. I do look forward to kind of getting back to my routine of things and just kind of diving fully into this YouTube career as much as I can, especially now that I'm gonna have just kind of like, I'm giving myself like a year of just kind of like regrouping my thoughts and emotions and my goals and visions, and applying some even kind of therapy or counseling to my mental, you know. I really feel that I could improve on relationships, and I really feel like I could give more empathy in times and be a little bit more supportive in times as well. But ultimately, it comes down to environments, and if you're in an environment that's stressful, or you know, a workplace that's toxic, it comes down to removing yourself from environments to kind of get back to a positive mental, and that's kind of where I'm at. You know, as much as I love Missy, as much as I love our journey and our adventure together, it just was hard on the mental sometimes, having personally like so many dogs, and it kind of draws you away from goals and visions that you would rather be working towards. It's like having unexpected kids, and all of a sudden you got to put your life to a side a little bit to kind of take care of your kids, and your priorities kind of shift, right? But I don't know. I'm also an asshole sometimes when it comes to relationships, and I realize that. For myself, it's like sometimes when people are like down and complaining about stuff, like it annoys me, and then I get upset because I have to listen to it, and like that's where I slip, because I should show empathy and sympathizing and support in those instances sometimes, and instead I just get annoyed, and I'm like, you know, complaining again, and it drives me nuts, and then I freak out, and that's not good. So really looking forward to just spending some time alone, really getting back to this like loving time by myself, and then I can bring it back into the society and show people more so, like, you know, be a positive person and be on the right track of things with life and love and peace. You know, I do try to show that as much as I can, and I personally have come from a past of anxiety and depression and sadness when I was a kid, and now, you know, you try to work through it as best as you can, and I have been, and obviously still some signs of it show as an adult. Nobody's perfect, but I'm here. I'm just trying to live, you know. So anyways, I'm rambling now. I didn't want to make a video on this topic, but I do need to let you guys know. I need to be transparent with you guys too. So that's where we're at in life right now. So yeah, stay tuned. You will be seeing a change in environment over the next little bit on these videos, but not to say that this channel isn't gonna stop uploading, because this is a lifelong commitment for me. So that's why I'm here, to help you guys with the Dreadlock game. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for listening to my thoughts and my rambling, and I appreciate you guys always tuning in here every day on a day-to-day. So yeah, yaga. Until next time, peace out, one love, stay happy and nappy, and you know, just keep me in your prayers and thoughts, and Missy too, keep her in your prayers and thoughts as well, because there's some support there and some loving that she needs too. So yeah, I'm out of here. Peace. 1.